Hello everyone, welcome to Alphawisdom. I'm Mystic Cassandria. Today we talk about a new line. This is the Saturn Line. Yes, you all know that if you've been following the channel. You know it more as the line of fate or the fate line. But it has several names. Some of them are the destiny line. One is the life task line. Another one is a career line. So it has several names. So we're going to learn something about these names. And when we talk about them, we're really talking about one line. So let's take a look at this line, and we will see examples of where it's located and how it affects your relationship. Remember, this time we're talking about the lines, primarily the major lines, at least for now, how a relationship fits in. And we're talking about sexuality. What can you expect from how that line sits on the hand? All right? So let's get some information on the line. Here's your check sheet here. The vesical distal crease of line of Saturn is also known popularly, as I already told you, fate line, destiny line, career line, or line of a life task. This line normally moves upward. Here's an example here, moving upward from just above the wrist. Here's your wrist here, and it's moving above. It can start way back here. It can start here. It can start right here. It can start almost anywhere, but it always starts from bottom going up, okay? And it always heads toward Saturn. Middle finger is the planetary name for Saturn. Okay. Perhaps more properly called the line of achievement, because it's a measure of what you achieve in life from your work, from your career choices. It shows the degree to which we are fulfilling our deepest goals in life. It indicates our level of personal success and self-fulfillment, as well as recording and the obstacles, changes, and restrictions that challenge us during our lifetime. So that's a little background there, so you know what kind of line it is. It's one of the major lines, so it's important. And what has that got to do with sexuality? Well, let's check this paragraph and see. When it comes to sexuality and relationship, a weak, broken, islanded, or wavy Saturn line can indicate difficulties in one's career or life path, which in turn can strongly affect relationships. Of course, there are people with highly successful careers and disastrous marriages, and others whose relationships are wonderful while their career is on the skids. This is why we need to examine both the Saturn and union lines to find any correlations between them. Of course, they're talking about, when we talk about union lines, we're talking about the lines that sit horizontally across. They're short lines under the little finger on this is Mercury, so on the Mercury mount. So we'll get into that. Okay, all right. Let's leave this and go right into the next one. All right, here we have on the next page, it talks about the general observations of the Saturn line include. All right, at the top it says the degree of adaptation in relationships is indicated by the position of the start of the fate line. So where it starts is important, which is the vertical line in the center of the palm. So we'll use this one as an example. Here we have a fate line, and it's moving on, but it touches here. It looks like it's attached to the line. The line doesn't go all the way up, but it's headed toward it. So let's see what that says. If the fate line begins inside the lifeline, closely or is closely attached to the line, so we have it attached here. The individual was greatly influenced by their parent of the opposite sex and will likely transfer these needs, good or bad, to his or her partner. If such a hand belongs to a woman, her partner should treat her just as a kindly, affectionate father might treat a favorite and much loved daughter. If this configuration is seen in a man's hand, his partner should understand his need for nurturing without his feelings smothered. So there's an independent influence here, but the connection is with the parent, how they were treated, and they would expect to be treated the same way because that's what they know. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Okay, here we have one that starts in the center of the palm. Okay, at the bottom. Okay, I'll turn this down a little bit so there we are. Okay, if the fate line starts in the center of the palm, so it starts at the center, it's not touching any line, it's on its own. Independent of the lifeline, meaning it doesn't need to cling to it for any reason. The individual, whether it's male or female, will tend to be psychologically independent of his or her partner and will need to respect their likes and dislikes. Such individuals demand to be an equal partner in the relationship. You may be like that. So examine your fate line in your hand. If there is no connection to that lifeline, that's like talking about you. So that's kind of important there. You're independent, and it's independent involving just about everything, including a relationship. Okay? So let's take the next one. Here we have it coming from this area. This is the lunar area. Here's the fate line going, heading all the way up. So let's see what that's all about. When the fate line rises up from the Mount of Lunar, as I told you, this area is lunar, it's rising up, the person will likely be greatly influenced by his or her mate. This person will always love, honor, and cherish, but the partner must deserve this devotion and respect his or her submissive nature. The submissive tendency will be strengthened if the index finger is short and the life and headlines are joined at the beginning. So you want to take a look at your index finger if it's shorter than this, and the lifeline and headline are joined together, if it's joined together. That doesn't mean you don't have that submissive nature, but it says it will be strengthened if this is shorter, and so on. And this is joined. All right? I hope we get that. Let's take it from the next one. All right. Here we have when the fate line stops short of the headline. Now it's moving on up, but it doesn't go to it. It doesn't touch it. It's below it. That's what we're talking about. After rising from the Mount of Lunar, and it is coming from the Mount of Lunar, the individual also tends to be submissive. This person will likely perform his or her partner and will respond easily to every demand and imposition. Oh boy. All right. So that means you're dependent on the person and you tend to just, everything is okay. You're not going to pitch a fit, and it's like you need someone stronger than you are to make it through life or something of that sort. Okay? Now here we have our last one. Suppose you have no fate line. There's no fate line here. Some people have that. Well, there's a love experience for you too. So let's see what that is. People who lack a fate line tend to be unpredictable. Ideally, their partner will likely worship his or her partner and will respond easily to every demand and imposition. Wow. So it's very similar to the last one. Well, I don't know where you stand, but it's either one of these. So accept and love what you have. All right? Okay. Such ends our discussion of the Saturn as far as sexuality is concerned. Give a thumbs up if you liked it, and by all means, be sure that you share and subscribe. Welcome to the new subscribers. Happy to have you. One thing, next week, I'll be in another state because of a very close family member who's passed away. So I won't be here next week, but we will get started from that point on. Have a wonderful weekend. In fact, love yourself. Very important. Love and light. Bye.